Kevin Steele is the new defensive coordinator for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He was the defensive coordinator there in 2007, coming back. But what's this defense going to look like under Kevin Steele? He runs a 4-2-5 defensive scheme, which is just football speak for 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs. Now, the reason I want to talk about those DBs first, reason why it's important that they have 5 DBs, is that is the strength of this defense. You want to maximize speed. To quote Lightning McQueen, I am speed. That's what Kevin Steele is saying with this defense. Having so many DBs on the field, it allows you to be flexible with how you align to different formations. Having that extra speed on the field, it allows you to play with the spread offenses of the world, to play with the Tennessees that'll spread you out and make Jalen Hyatt go deep all the time on you. That's what they're trying to combat against, having an extra level of athleticism on the field, so that you can mix and match a little bit easier. Now, the responsibility for these DBs, obviously, got to play in the pass game, but you will see every single Saturday afternoon in the fall at least 1 or 2 of these safeties into the box. They're going to ask these defensive backs, especially that safety position, to help fill in run support. So if Kevin Steele is around for a bit of time here, Nick Saban and company, they're going to recruit big run-stopping DBs. Think Cam Chancellor mold. Those big 6 foot plus, 205 pound plus kind of defensive backs. That's what they're trying to create at Alabama. So in addition to that, they're trying to keep the whole operation simple. They're trying to allow these 5 DBs to play fast and free and keep it all in front of them. Keep it in front of you, trust your eyes, go hunt. That is my own interpretation of what the philosophy is for this defensive backfield. And think about what Alabama has specialized in over the course of time, especially under Nick Saban. That secondary, those are his babies. I mean, that's the part of the defense that Nick Saban takes so much pride in coaching. And so the fact that Nick Saban coaches this position group so closely, and the fact that this defense is going to rely on this position group so much, I think that's a good sign. Now, you remember, the defensive backs a season ago had their ups and downs, especially in one-on-one coverage. I think it will be a little bit less of a complex scheme for some of these positions on this defense, especially in the secondary. It won't be a matter of the coaching getting in the way of what you want to do defensively. It'll be, we have the best athletes in the world. We have the best ingredients across the college football landscape. We're going to let them be special. We're going to let them eat. So the 5 DBs of this 4-2-5 defense will play a critical role both in run support, but also in just having a lot of speed on the field and allowing them to be flexible. If you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, we would love to have you all a part of this. This is the People's Show, so you drive this show. Whatever you want to see on here, hit me in my DMs on Instagram or on Twitter at JDPakel. Comment below. I want to do more of what you want to see. So we appreciate you in advance for that. Now, the 2 linebackers in this defense can be summed up in this statement: run first, pass game second. Because you have so many DBs on the field, it allows those linebackers to trigger a little bit more quickly. Think about it this way. If I'm a boxer, and when it comes to dodging punches, I'm just faster than my opponent, I have more freedom to throw more haymakers. I can take some shots with the right hook. I can try the left jab because I know I can recover relatively easily. If that linebacker fills quickly on a run read, and let's just say he's wrong for whatever reason, it's play action or he doesn't get home, you have extra speed on the field with those 5 DBs to be the eraser for that mistake. Now, I'm not saying you're just playing sideline to sideline with no seatbelt and just not trusting your rules. There's obviously a good amount of rules that go along with this, but I'm telling you from a simplistic standpoint, for the linebackers, those 2 linebackers, the Mike and Will, Mike Will made it. Their responsibility will be to stop the run game. That'll be their first thought. And so you may see, when it comes to the future of this Alabama defense, speed, yes, but also physicality. That's going to be, I think, 1A and 1B for this linebacker group going forward. And again, going back to what we said about the DB group, we're keeping it simple, man. We're not going to overthink it here. We're not going to allow the scheme to get in the way of what we have in-house that's so talented and so special. You don't need to mix it up too much, man. You don't need to outthink the entire room. You put your special players in position to succeed. Linebackers play instinctual in the run game. If we need you to help in the pass game, we'll make a check. We'll have that built in. But because we have so much speed on the field, you're allowed to trigger a little bit more quickly. You're allowed to think, stop the run first. It's why we have 5 DBs. It's why we have 2 linebackers. Now, from the defensive line standpoint, nothing is extraordinary about what we're asking you to do on the defensive line. Kevin Steele's defense, like I said, speed on the back end, linebackers trigger quickly, D-line go to work. I mean, go do what you do. Go eat up double teams. Go win on the edge if you're a defensive edge. We only have 4 of you on the defensive line. Okay, so we're not going to try and go 5-on-5 with the offensive line. We're going to have 4 of you rushing the quarterback. Any given play, likely. Go do what you do. The one thing I would say as it pertains to the defensive line, going back to the secondary, we got 5 DBs. What does that tell you? If it is a pass play, you're probably going to have a little bit of a more difficult time processing the defense if you're a quarterback. Passing lanes may not be as available as they would be if you had 4 DBs on the field. So what does that tell you for the defensive line? Hey, the clock to get to the quarterback, you may have a little bit more time. He may be taking a little bit longer to sort things out because of that extra safety on the field. There may not be an open man as quickly. So if you're a defensive lineman, you have a chance to get what we call a coverage sack, meaning you still won your matchup on the defensive line, but the secondary, the coverage, allowed you to get home. So all these parts of the defense work together in cohesion. Speed on the back end, the linebackers playing in the run game, run first, pass second, defensive line. Just be the freak shows that you are. Be the freak shows that Nick Saban has recruited there for many years now. Go do what you do. The hesitation that Alabama fans may have with Kevin Steele is from last year in his time in Miami. Gave up around 28 points a game. That's not great, okay? We all understand that. We're all on the same page here. Here's what I would say. This is a scheme that accentuates what you have in personnel. To the same token, it will accentuate what you don't have in personnel. And Miami, in their first year under Mario Cristobal, I believe, did not have the personnel to consistently achieve what they wanted to achieve in this 4-2-5 defense. It is a player's scheme. I cannot say that enough. It will take what you have from a talent standpoint and put that in position to be instinctual and to do what you do, right? I mean, there's parameters, but it's supposed to take advantage of the athleticism and speed you have on a defense. Miami didn't have the ingredients to run it consistently. Alabama, they haven't had a class outside the top 3 since dinosaurs roamed the earth. I mean, like, let's be real here. Alabama, from an ingredient standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, will be night and day different in terms of how they run it under Kevin Steele. So Kevin Steele's defense, I think, is exactly the formula that Alabama needs going forward. The coaching staff is not going to be in the way. At the end of the day, you can 1,000% expect that your talent on defense will get out what they put in, if that makes sense. You're not going to have the scheme being too complex and having busted coverages and having things go wrong that have nothing to do with your personnel. Players will make plays. X's and O's are solid, but like coaches say, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. We appreciate you tuning in with us. This has been The Hard Count. Nick, Break, Lift, and Heavy. This is y'all's show, the people's program. Everything that you know and love about this beautiful sport. We talk about it here every single day. Coming out with us Tuesday and Thursday, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. We are live in living color on the On3 YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed, got the bell hit, all that good stuff. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.